Scribblox here. I just want to do a little dev blog on a game I'm working on. It's a little dungeon runner. So you have a little guy, he runs around, collects cookies inside the dungeon, and he uses those cookies to continue. So every time he goes to another room, he'll lose a cookie. And then each room's a little bit randomly generated and it's different. So this room's a trap room. If he hits a trap, he loses cookies. This is a garden room where you can collect more cookies. Then we have a monster room where the monsters chase you and eat your cookies. And then if you run out of cookies, the game is over. And then it randomly starts you in another room, see how they're eating the cookies there. And this room is a treasure room where you find gold coins. And there's one final type of room, which is a trader room. And the trader room lets you trade those cookies for, or coins for cookies. Okay, I'll go over the code a little bit. Appreciate it if you hit that like button and subscribe. Let's check out the code. Let's go over some of the highlights of the code. So first we have some singletons. Let me show you those. So on autoload, I have a dungeon generator and I have a game manager. And in the game manager is just a game state, so I know which state I'm in. And in the dungeon generator, it has all the methods that build the room and build the doors and kind of connect the objects. So if we look at main, we have canvas layer, and it has two scenes in it. It has a GUI scene, and it has the counts for the coins and the cookies, and it has the room type label, and then it has how many rooms you've gone through. And the trader dialog is just the when you click on the trader, you say accept or cancel if you want to trade or not trade, and then it sends a signal across. And then in the main script, we have the association of all the signals to the local objects. So I also have a Y sort here. I have rooms. I have a next room timer, and I have the camera. And there is only one room, but I just made it that way so it's easier for me to understand. So if we look at room here, it has a tile map, and the tile map is created when this room is created. And these are all the room types. And then it has all the objects that are in the room, and then it has this small tile map, which is just a border around the room so the player can't leave the room. And then on the player, it's just a normal player with a sprite and a collision shape, and then it has animation player for the animations. So here's my little sprite sheet. It has the player moving up and down, left and right. Collision shape, so he can't run through the walls. And then animation tree, he just has an idle and a walk, sets of animation that are controlled by what his velocity is. What next? Let's see. If we want to look at the player script, it's kind of like a copy and paste from the the Godot docs for the movement at least. And then this is just passing, if the game state is playing, then it's checking the input, and from the velocity, it's passing that velocity to the animation tree so it knows which animation to play. So nothing special. Let's see what else. The trader dialog just sends two signals, so nothing special there. And then the NPCs, they just move around, they chase you where you are. Some of them are faster than others. And if the player is inside their hitbox, then it's going to eat your cookies here. So as a player runs around, see if we can find a monster room. If the hit player's inside their hitbox, then they're slowly taking the cookies away until you run out of cookies. That's what that eat is. And then it has a little bit of a timer too, so when they first come to the room, they don't automatically start attacking. And then also, so it doesn't keep eating constantly. It eats every half a second. And then the trader has a, when you hit the or the area around the trader, when the player walks into that, it triggers a signal, and that signal gets pushed up to the main script. And the same thing for the trap. So if we go to a trap room, when the player gets into its collision box, it takes the cookies away. So it emits a signal spring trap, and then it shows the sprite of that trap where it is, and then it sets the set trap to false, so it doesn't keep re-triggering it. And the trap also has a little timer, so when you first come to the room, it doesn't automatically trigger. And most of the characters in there work the same way. So the trader and the NPCs are the same. So let me show you the trap scenes. It's a super simple area 2D, a timer, and a sprite. And the trader is the same thing. Trader, sprite, area 2D, and a collision shape. And it doesn't need a timer. The monster is the same, or the NPC is the same thing, and it also has an animation player, so it can move its mouth depending upon if it's attacking or not attacking. And then items like the cookies and the coins. So it's just an area 2D, a collision shape, sprite, and then an animation player, and all the animation player does is just makes it bigger and smaller. So it kind of makes you see where the items are. And if the player's body enters it, it emits a signal, and it says what type of item it is, either coin or cookie, and then it disappears, or you freeze it. You can't collect it again. And then we have the exits, which is just the same kind of setup, area 2D, collision shape, and then it emits a signal when the player enters that, and then it tells the main script to go to the next room. Okay, let me go through some of the main script highlights. When you add a new room, it figures out all the connections of the signals and adds them to a local method in this class. Then does a few helper methods here. And I think that's about it. And then the dungeon generator, you kind of figure out what it does from its name, but it keeps building the next rooms. It builds them based on random, and what I want to try to do is get that random number, something you can put in. So maybe you could play against another player and say, I used the random seed XYZ. How many rooms did you get to before you died? And it just goes through there, builds the room, and then it sets that auto tile to true. And then that one is kind of figures out what items are in the rooms and creates them, either coins or trader or monsters. And it puts them randomly in the room. So I'm going to keep continuing on this game. I just wanted to give a little update in case anybody wanted to check it out. I appreciate you guys watching this video, and I'll see you next time.